internet and social media have changed things in a very radical fashion. There are advantages, of course. You have access to information at your palm. You can self-educate yourself. It's there for you. Anything you want. If your lecturer is teaching you don't understand, Google what he's teaching you. It will come out. You will get a grip of it. Communication is faster. Business is faster. You can reach out to people. You can sell yourself. You can market yourself. That's what the internet, that's what social media offers. The advantages are more than these ones I mentioned, and the advantages are more than the disadvantages. However, despite the fact that the disadvantages are fewer than the advantages, the disadvantages carry more devastating effects than the advantages. There are disadvantages of being online. You are exposed to all sorts of characters. Let me leave those characters first. First of all, surfing breeds laziness, you know. There are days I wake up, I pick my phone, and I find I spend 3 hours there. You are going from one app to the other, one site to the other. You are just going around in circles. It breeds laziness. It is affecting our social life. We don't know how to communicate anymore. We don't spend quality time with friends and family. I was traveling from Benin the other day. I told my friend join me because he was traveling to Lagos, and I drove. And from Benin up to Ore, he was on his phone because he was browsing. So it's affecting quality times. These are domestic disadvantages. Let's talk about serious disadvantages. There are predators online, rapists, killers, pedophiles, terrorists, and they have direct access to our people. Direct access to our loved ones, to our kids, and all of that. Also, online, apart from the predators, there are all sorts of advertisements, fake products, everything is there. False information in circulation for everybody to grasp. There's really no filtering system for the things you are exposed to. Oh, and by the way, the parents who used to lock their kids in their room and keep the boy out, you will be doing that child a favor if you lock her in her room now, because she will go on FaceTime or Skype to have direct access. So you see, these are the disadvantages of these things. However, I have studied online and I found out that one of the most dangerous, if not the most dangerous disadvantage is hardly talked about, and that is narcissism. Gradually, we are all beginning to worship ourselves. First and foremost, there's a narcissist in everybody. Everybody wants to look good. There's nothing wrong about that. Everybody wants to come out looking good. Everybody likes it when you hear a positive comment about yourself. But when you start to dwell on it, that's where we have a problem. Do you know that when you take a selfie now, you have 5 people, you want to take a selfie. Everybody's checking out themselves only. And if you look good, you're like, oh, okay. And the person who says, no, let's take another one. Check, that person didn't appear well in the photograph. But that shouldn't be a problem. That's mild. That's mild. According to Greek mythology, the term narcissism comes from the character Narcissus. There are different stories about Narcissus, but they all have the same conclusion. Narcissus was a hunter. He was handsome. As a matter of fact, as a man, he was beautiful. He was so beautiful, he rebuffed anybody who came to seek his hand in friendship. He was so beautiful, according to one of the versions, he turned Echo back because he noticed he was being followed. And he would turn, who is following me? And Echo would be like, who is following me? Echo was scared to approach him. But when Echo approached him, Narcissus turned Echo back, turned her down. She was broken-hearted. Nemesis saw it, and Nemesis said, I will deal with Narcissus for this. So Nemesis led Narcissus to a pool. All the versions have the same story when he gets to that pool. Narcissus looks in the pool, sees his reflection, and loves himself too much. He spends hours, days there just admiring himself, tries to get a grip of himself, falls in the pool, and drowns. That's the story of Narcissus. That's where the term narcissism came from. What that means ultimately is that when you love yourself too much, you will end up killing yourself. If you give, that's when you get. And that's the problem the entertainment industry is facing today. In our time, growing up, it was about what we could do to touch lives. Do you know that what you get after giving is not up to you? You are not supposed to determine what you get, because what you get is actually going to be more than what you gave. When you concentrate and give your best, go and check the entertainers who have made a mark, who will never be forgotten. Their online presence is not like the way others are. There are entertainers who have long died that we didn't meet, that we have heard about. It's simply because they gave their all. They emptied themselves. We are all talented. That talent in us is meant to be given. It's meant to reach out to touch lives. Whatever you get is a bonus. But these days, I get entertainers who walk up to me and say, don't you know me? I say, no, sorry. I'm looking, I'm trying. It's like, I'm the one that's saying krikata, kota. And I'm like, no, I don't. Okay, what of this other song? Wine your waist like tomatoes? I'm like, I don't. And the next question is, don't you watch MTV Base? What of Trace TV? What of Hip TV? They actually expect that anybody who is a human being that is breathing should have seen them on TV. Now, that is even mild. You should see where young people quarrel these days. I've seen two girls quarreling, and one of the girls was like, look at you, how many followers do you even have on Instagram? That you are talking. And the girl retorted that it's not about number of followers. How many likes do you get? Do you know how many likes I get? That's when it dawned on me that young people these days don't just check the number of likes they have on Instagram. They actually go to check who liked and who didn't like. So you see girls, you see young boys quarreling that guy doesn't like my pictures. All he does is just monitor my page like a monitoring spirit. He doesn't like my pictures. We are wasting time. It's an implosion waiting to happen. The entertainers you see, Timi Dakolo is here, I'm here. We're all on social media. But for us, it's a business. That's where the ordinary folks are now making a mistake. Yes, it's encouraging young talents to come up, but people who have no business in entertainment are trying to live that lifestyle. So a girl wakes up and says, how do I become popular online? So she puts a naked picture of herself online and she gains followers. A guy wakes up and takes a picture prominently displaying his eggplant so that people can talk about him, so that the bloggers can carry stories about him. That is what our generation is leaning towards now. Self-idolation, worship. There is danger in the making. I usually tell young people, when I started, it's crazy. In a nutshell, I came to Lagos in 2004. I had scripts to sell because I write. Providence brought me before the biggest actor in Africa, Richard Mufedamijo. I told him, look, I have the scripts, you will like it and all that. He showed me a corner of his office. There were about 50 scripts there. He said, these are from writers too. What makes you different? I said, if you read it, you will understand. I didn't run down their work. He read it, took me to some directors. Long story short, one of the directors copied my story, changed or thought he changed many things because he changed the lead character from a woman to a man and released my film. I didn't complain. After 2 years of working there, I set out to do my own production. I got an executive producer. She invested $500,000 in my production. It came out April 1st, 2007, 8 p.m., Silverbird Television. April 2, I was walking on the streets and people were saying, you are the guy of last night. This guy is crazy. And they were saying to Yoruba, Boboye something, you know? I remember vividly. Fame hit me before I was even ready for fame, but I refused to dwell on it because I had no car, I had no good clothes, I had no girlfriend, nothing. I was the one physically taking these tapes to all the TV stations myself, and I was seeing my friends forming packaging, arranging themselves, but I knew this work had to grow, this work had to reach out. So I used to take public transportation. I started to forbid taking public transportation once it was 1:45 p.m. because secondary school students would have closed by then, and when they see me in the bus, they start making all sorts of fun with me. I could have said no, I'm too famous and all that. I could have borrowed money, I could have messed myself up, basically. That's what I'm trying to say. After that program had run for 2 years, my executive producer refused to give me my share of the money. 7.4 million naira. I was entitled to 40%. Long story short, that's how that project ended. I told her that it was a dream Joseph had, that his brother sold him. He interpreted a dream. It was still a dream he interpreted that made him Prime Minister of Egypt. So I told her, watch out. I started again. Basically, what I'm trying to tell you that it wasn't about me. I had a message to give out. I had a talent. I felt the world should see, and I reached out and spread it out there for the world to see. What makes me sick now is that even corporate bodies in a bid to make money are helping us fan our narcissism. For example, there are categories in award ceremony. For example, best actor, and they say you have to reach out to your fans to vote. Actors are now begging for votes. Instead of a body of experts to judge from a pool of actors selected, they are now saying, reach out, please vote for me to win best actor. It is just an artwork, and you judge your life by it. So actors are now reaching out, please vote for me. But the truth is that the companies telling you to reach out are making money from those votes. So why should we judge ourselves by art has now been commercialized? Narcissism, we're fanning ourselves, fanning our egos, is getting bigger than us. I will round up on this note. Before social media, go and check the biggest stars. They had a problem. When you give your talent, when the world starts to appreciate you, it becomes a burden. They start to do drugs to keep up with that level, to be able to withstand it. They start to do drugs. It leads to depression, and depression leads to suicide. That was before social media. So you can imagine what will happen now when you have 1 million followers and then your music doesn't sell anymore. You walk on the streets, nobody's answering you. We are messing with suicide. We are messing with cases of depression. Narcissism is so bad now. Check out all the mass murderers. Thank God they are not here yet, and they won't come. Check out the mass murderers. They have one thing in common. They want to go out with a bang. So they commit the crimes and make a video of it. They know it's going to get on the news. They know everybody's going to hear. A German pilot wants to kill himself. He takes down a whole jetliner with 130-something passengers because he wanted to be on the news. The other guy the other day was fired from his workplace years ago, and he came, wore a camera on his chest, went there, shot the presenter on live TV. In fact, he waited for the cameraman to pan to her first, shot her on live TV, shot the cameraman, and he uploaded the video himself because he wanted to go out with a bang. That's what narcissism is doing to us. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't have the solution, but I have a suggestion. If we do not regulate social media, we will have a problem. And the only way you can regulate social media is to regulate the internet. Do you know what it will be like if we had internet and social media to use for only, say, 5 hours a day? Thank you very much.